I am Vlad Dracula Tepesh, and I do not get many visitors.
Quick warm-up exercise. Let's name
Every American president.
7 Castlevania made-up games.
Ooh, okay. I know Symphony of the Night.
I said made-up games.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to figure out the formula.
I was trying to set the baseline.
Yeah.
Rondo of Blood, Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah. So these are all like musical term of vampire nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like musical of gothicness.
Yep. Or Allegro of bloody.
1.
We've got.
Do you want a tag team or?
Let's go back and forth.
Okay. Bolero of Bones.
2. Adagio for death. Adagio for death.
For string death. Song of Draculas. What is that, 4?
4. Power ballad of Rivers of Blood.
Ooh, rock opera of mad science.
What isn't there a Castlevania game that doesn't follow that formula?
Probably.
That's like
Simon's Quest.
Simon's Quest. So you could go
Dougie's Bizarre Adventure.
Castlevania, Sylvester's Choice.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Sylvester, a young
Suffer and
Belmont.
Fuckertash. Hey everyone, welcome to Jojo's World. That was 7, right?
I guess that was 7.
Oh, that's in the episode now? Great.
Oh, no.
Okay. Hey everyone,
How you doing?
it's Jojo's World. We're back in the same room.
We're actually back in the same human room because
COVID restrictions are easing.
it might be a little bit too soon for WA, who knows?
Oh, we had 1 case yesterday, first in 7 days.
Yeah, but we haven't had many cases in general. This is Nick's opinion. I feel like maybe we should wait a little longer before we all start partying.
The important thing is that my editing jobs are going to get quicker again.
They're going to get so much easier.
They are building a Woolworths on the corner. Apologies if any of that noise is coming through. I hope it won't.
It sounds like one guy with one, like,
drill
truck
or whatever
thing, and it's just sitting there being like, oh, you guys are going to start recording. Hey, let's just turn that on.
They don't do it every Saturday, but they decided to do it today.
Maybe Jojo's World sent them.
Tell them Jojo's World sent you to build a Woolworths.
Oh, God. Those capitalist pigs building Woolworths on the corner.
Today, on this, our JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast, JoJo's World,
That is what this is.
we watched the 4th and 5th episodes of the 2nd season of Castlevania, available on Netflix, at Netflix on Twitter.
We got there.
Yep. It was pretty good.
I mean, it was fine. It was all right.
These episodes, the first one was entitled,
Hey, what's your name?
Oh, I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Nick Valentine, the other one of the co-hosts.
This is JoJo's World.
Hey, what did we watch today?
Castlevania.
What? So we watched 2 Castlevania apps.
Yep,
One
Castlevania and Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest.
We watched 1 pre and 1 post.
Yeah, 1 together, 1 apart.
1 within.
Which was which, we'll
one
never
outside.
tell.
I think they'll figure it out pretty quickly, though.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I should get my notes from the one that we watched separately.
You absolutely should.
Shit, I don't know why I didn't bring them up in the first place. Good thing the touchscreens make literally no sound.
We know what we're doing. Type.
What are you talking? We don't know what we're doing. Well, we kind of do.
It's very important that we project an air of confidence in hashtag these uncertain times.
I know
Don't
what I'm
clear
doing.
your throat on the microphone.
I know exactly what I am doing. Shuffles uncomfortably.
Okay, so first we watch episode 4, Broken Mast.
You know how I knew that this was the episode I was meant to watch? Because this is the one that we were away for, right?
Yep.
I knew this is the one we had to watch because I went, shit, was it 3 or 4 that I had, or 5? Which one was it? And I looked at Shadow Battles and went, yeah, we've had a lot of jokes about Shadow
Yes.
Battles, so it's probably the one after that.
Broken Mast. Hector and Isaac take their first steps on divergent paths. Trevor and Cypher grow closer.
Fuck off.
Vampires can die too.
I mean,
Did you know that?
What is wrong with IMDb?
No, this is Castlevania Wiki, but it's also on the IMDb too. So that's just like the official episode synopsis.
Oh my god, what is wrong? Every single one of them has like a good bit, and then just hey, did you know that air's breathable? It's like, what? Why do you need to say that? What is the point of that? Of course, what? Why? What?
What do you know?
Yeah.
Who sent you? Get out of my house.
What is your agenda here, punk?
Yeah, so it was a pretty good episode.
I thought it was okay.
I thought this episode was garbage, personally.
But like, my god, I can put how many things happened on a screen in like less than a page.
Well, that's funny because I took 185 photos.
Shit. Liam, you're really... So Liam today, I haven't seen this yet in person because he got it for COVID or something. But he bought a little tripod.
It's also a selfie stick.
Yeah, it's basically a selfie stick with a button that you push and it takes a photo.
And a tripod.
And a tripod that you put your phone into so we can like just sit there.
And you can do a Zoom meeting.
And like, literally I saw it and went, well, this is neat. And then I didn't realize how many photos you were going to take while we were watching.
You're just constantly clicking.
Literally just constant
Well, it wouldn't
clicking.
be so many if we didn't have the subtitles on too, but this way I can effortlessly capture each line of dialogue.
And then post it to IMDb as a fan appreciation catalogue.
Smash cut to the past. It's not 1476 in Wallachia.
What? What year is it?
The past in a country we aren't sure of.
Oh my god. I remember I just went, am I missing an ep? Because it feels like we just came here from nowhere.
Men are running down snowy hills, and Godbrand is chasing them through the sky, shouting his own name because...
Godbrand is aesthetic.
Yeah, well, he's very much interested in his Godbrand.
Ah, I see, because he's Godbrand.
Yeah, he cuts a guy down and he's like, follow my Instagram!
Do you mean his Insta brand?
No.
Everything has to end with brand.
He's a Godbrand influencer.
No, I'm just thinking everything has to end...
No, I know what you're saying.
And just, what does that make you? Well, I'm Godbrand. Like, oh, so your Instagram is Instabrand, your Twitter is Twitbrand.
Yeah, he doesn't really have consistent branding, ironically.
Yeah. And so at the end, it's like, and you're Godbrand. It's like, hell yeah, I'm Godbrand, baby. It's like, okay, I have a question. If you're Godbrand, can you solve this logical fallacy about omnicogniscience?
Someone sent us an
incredible message.
Incredible DM on Twitter a little while back.
You were gonna...
Oh, yes, that's right. What was I gonna do?
There were two things that you messaged me about. One was some pseudo Jojo's news.
Oh, yes.
And the other one was a Twitter account to recommend.
Okay, yes, I remember.
Was it Jojo's World?
Before we get to that, listener Ivan Sariev sent us a DM on Twitter recently saying, I was listening to the last episode and I remembered that during your discussion of episode 3 or 4 of Castlevania, you and Nick asked the omnipotent God paradox, but instead of lifting a rock, you used God cleaning up puke and decided not to answer it because neither of you have a philosophy degree. So if God was omnipotent, he can puke so hard that he cannot clean it. But if he cannot clean it, then he is not omnipotent. The answer is that in omnipotence, basically you are above the logic of that and you can do the illogical.
Right, I see.
So God can puke so big that he can both clean it up and not clean it up at the same time because being an omnipotent allows you to do such things.
Right, so if I'm omnipotent...
And now you know the rest of the story.
Now you know the rest of
if
that
I was
puke-filled
omnipotent, I would
story.
simply choose not to puke.
Fuck off with your shit. So is the answer to the question then, God could puke so much that he could both clean it up and not clean it up at the same time?
Sure.
Damn. Imagine that.
So, Nick.
Yes.
Big, dumb... I hesitate to call it drama because it's not like... There's no conflict here. But there was movement in the Jojo Online fan communities this past week.
Uh-huh.
Because the official Crunchyroll Twitter account...
Yes.
Tweeted a picture of all the Part 5 boys.
Uh-huh.
And then with the tweet caption, something like, get ready, or are you ready? So everyone was like, I think understandably, like, rustling at the prospect of, like, maybe a Part 6 announcement,
yeah,
or maybe a
as
Purple Haze feedback OVA.
Yeah.
But what we were apparently meant to be getting ready for was a follow-up thread of Bruno Bucciarati pics.
What? Not even like a Nenko doll or some shit?
I don't know what that is.
You know those little big-headed dolls?
Oh, like a Nendoroid?
That's the one I meant, not a Nenko. What's a
I don't
Nenko?
know. So, yeah, they said, like, are you ready? And then thread. They're just all these Bruno Pics.
But why?
He's a very handsome boy.
I mean, sure, I don't
He's
deny.
dynamic.
I don't deny that he looks good, and he's probably the main protagonist of the show, but what's going on? Why?
I don't know. No one knows, and they just did it, and everyone's like, what the heck?
So, the big news is that Bruno Bucciarati exists.
Yeah.
What?
It's Bruno. So, the other thing I wanted to recommend is there is a Twitter account. I think it's Jojo Screen Caps. That's at JJBA Screenshots.
Okay.
And what they're doing is working their way through the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime. They're just starting
Frame by frame.
not frame by frame, but they're posting like interesting screenshots in sequential order, like every hour or so.
Interesting. They get copyright striked for this?
I don't know. I don't care. But it's cool. Like, everyone was having a great time when Dyer showed up and did his dumb bad attack.
Yeah, that attack that literally never works.
Yeah. And now we're starting part 2, so there should be some interesting screen grabs in there, I'm sure.
Interesting. Okay.
So I just wanted to share that and recommend people follow it if they're into that sort of thing.
Yeah. Get on it before it breaks down.
And that's JoJo's for the week.
There's no more JoJo's.
That's a spicy JoJo.
Well, I mean, I don't deny that Bruno's a little spicy. I don't know if I'd call him a spicy JoJo. I call him more of a spicy Boo.
Oh, you really did not thread that needle,
No.
Nick.
Well, I guess it's the other way around, isn't it? Because it would be Boo Brew. Boo Brew?
I really don't care about this.
Bucciarati Bruno. His friends call him Brew Boo. Just contemplate how bad any other name would be.
His name's Bruno Bucciarati.
Yeah, Bruno Bucciarati. So Brew Boo, right? Because it's like the first of
Why did I let you suck me into this?
But just like, I've only really clicked it now. It would work so poorly if it wasn't so snappy as Jojo, right?
Yeah.
In any other media. Let's take Darth Vader.
Your friends can call you Hoju.
Who's Hoju?
Homer Jr.
Oh, Jesus.
I've been watching seasons 3 and earlier of The Simpsons lately.
Are you finding it to be rather remarkably different from the rest
it's really
of the show?
good.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I'm glad. Oh, man. God, The Simpsons is so good.
Nick, Star Wars The Clone Wars finished recently, and it was really, really good.
We started talking about Castlevania.
Did we?
That's what gets me, is that we started and then immediately went...
Really good episodes. The last arc of it takes place contemporaneously to Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
And they've got Maul up in the mix, who's like become like this raving madman with visions of the conflict to come.
Yes.
No one takes him seriously because they all hate him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ahsoka Tano is there. They have a big lightsaber battle. Ray Park did the mocap for Maul in it.
Ray Park.
The guy who originally did who originally played Maul.
Nice.
That's a nice touch.
That's fun.
And then Order 66 happens, and Rex is there, and a couple of droids who are all heroes.
Droid heroes?
Yeah, they were droids.
I don't
Like
get
astromech droids. And they did what had to be done.
Okay, alright. Hey, Liam.
Hey.
Should I watch The Clone Wars now that's finished?
Yeah, but should we watch it for JoJo's World?
Well, this is the question.
I think if we were to watch it for JoJo's World, what I would recommend is that we would do it kind of like how we've started doing Castlevania now, but to an even greater extent, rather than
the whole Clone Wars.
Well, we would just do selected arcs, but what we'd do is we would watch most of that arc in isolation, then finish it together, I think.
Right, okay.
And then just do like an episode on this episode is on the
the
Dathomir storyline.
Okay. Hey, question.
Hey.
Should we do Star Wars the movies for JoJo's World? Should we try
Difficult to say.
This is
of course many, many years ago, I was spitballing about the idea of doing in chronological order every piece of Star Wars canonical content.
Oh, God.
You remember that conversation?
Yeah.
Where we would start with The Phantom Menace.
Yep.
Then move into Attack of the Clones.
Uh-huh.
Then on to Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yep, which would take far longer than any of the other pieces of media.
Yep. Finishing up with, I guess, watching them at the same time now. Clone Wars and final episodes and Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
Then on to Rebels.
Yep.
Then on to Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope.
Uh-huh.
Then on to
Mando?
Empire Strikes Back.
I guess Empire Strikes Back, yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
Uh-huh.
Mando.
Yeah, true, because Mando's after the Empire Force.
Final scenes of Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
Then Mando.
Uh-huh.
And Resistance, which I never really watched because I wasn't really feeling it.
Mm-hmm. And then the new 3.
Yeah.
And then
2 of which are good.
Oh, no, we're forgetting. In between Attack of the Sith and
Attack of the Sith. Attack on Titan of the Sith.
Blatant Hope. We have to have Solo because
Solo a Star Wars story.
Yeah,
and Rogue One a Star Wars story.
And Rogue One, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, we would also have to do...
Well, actually, no, we'd have to pause.
Prior to Star Wars The Force Awakens, the campaign mode of Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, God.
And of course, prior to
now.
Rise of Skywalker, the Fortnite event where where Sheev Palpatine announced his return.
Okay, all right, sure. Hey, I watched, or not watched all of, but watched, I think, the first 2 hours of, Bruce Green, maybe, from Machinima?
No.
Okay, so he is part of, like, Funhouse, sort of Rooster Teethy stuff, but then he went off and did his own thing. But he keeps bringing some of the other people who are now doing their own thing from Rooster Teeth or Funhouse or whatever in on his content.
Oh, yeah.
Recently, they did Can We Recite Episode 1, The Phantom Menace from Heart, while checking the script to make sure they don't make any flubs or anything, and then made it a drinking game.
That's fun.
So it's Rahul, who's an actual actor, and then their friend Jacob, who's an editor who just so happens to be fully into Star Wars. And they just recite episode 1, just tag teaming the lines.
There's a clip I saw on Twitter that I really like, which is it's just a bunch of bros in their house watching Revenge of the Sith, and it's the bit where Anakin and Obi-Wan are like, "You have done that yourself. Don't make me kill," and they're all just reciting the words along with the movie. It's really good.
Oh, God.
We should probably talk about Castlevania. We're 20 minutes into this episode, and we have 2 episodes to cover.
We have 2 whole episodes, lots of notes.
But you guys, I love Star Wars again.
We're gonna get
Filoni
there.
brought it back after Rise of Skywalker ruined it.
It's been so long, and now
It's been
7.
like 2 months.
Do you reckon season 7 was in the works beforehand, or Filoni just went, "Fuck this, I gotta fix this"?
Definitely in the works beforehand. Broadly, the scripts were from
2001.
Prior to its previous cancellation, they had the broad strokes of most of these arcs sketched out.
Oh, okay, all right.
And like primitive animation exists of some of them.
Okay.
There's some really good ones where Anakin and Obi-Wan are stealing back this big lightsaber crystal from General Grievous. And because it's like really primitive, like first phase animation, they're just like sliding along the ground as they go, and like then they slide past him, and then Obi-Wan's head, expressionless, just turns and goes, It looks really good.
All right.
Also, shout out to Clone Force 99, #the Bad Batch.
So
Godbrand is there. He's killing these guys. He's like, "I'm Godbrand."
He doesn't even say, "I'm Godbrand." Does he?
But first, when he's leaping through the sky, he says, "Godbrand is here," and he starts killing them. Then, one guy is on the cliff, and the guy has the sword, and Godbrand's like, "Oh, this guy's got a sword. What am I going to do? I'm going to do like some mad flips and attack him from the abyss side of the cliff, and then go down and land on my Viking boat." And then he straddles the masthead and just shouts, "Godbrand!"
He knows what he's about.
Yeah.
On so many levels.
He's having fun with it, and you've got to appreciate it. Shout out to a good moment there where he shattered that guy's sword with his own sword.
Which is dope.
Yeah, always a cool thing when someone's sword shatters.
Plenty of gore, plenty of fun, plenty of Godbrand.
Also, I'm just looking back at my pickies now, and it looks like the sunlight is just beginning to crest over the horizon there.
Yes,
so he's
it
really
is.
playing with fire.
Well, he is Godbrand.
Of course. And then he's snoozing in the castle being like, "I sure am Godbrand."
God, those were good times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I could go for some blood and some beer.
Yeah, so then the servants bring in this pig, and he's like, "No, not a pig. I want human meat."
I think his exact words are, "Fuck your eyes, man.
Yeah.
Bring me blood and beer." Which is just like, all the servants just have big glowing red eyes, and that's all the features they have.
Yeah, there's faceless goons, literally.
And then his last words are, "Fuck, that bloody woman was right." Which I think stands as a testament to Godbrand's progressive nature.
Sure.
In that he hates women and he just wants to drink blood and beer.
Meanwhile, the protagonists are looking at a big broken mirror.
Oh, this fucking mirror.
It's like a magic mirror, also known as distance mirrors. Sometimes they let you move between places, but this one just lets you see places, but it's broken. But maybe Cypher can fix it.
You're a cockwart, Alucard.
Yeah, they banter.
They bant. Mama Cypher breaks up the troll.
Mama Cypher bakes up the troll.
I don't even know what that sentence was trying to do, but yeah, they start having some bants, and then Cypher's all like, "Fuck both of you. Come with me, Trevor. I need to give
She
you a good..."
scolds him.
It's just like, stop it.
Stop
Stop it now.
rising to his every barb. Anyway, she's like, why is your name Trevor? And he's like, so when Leon came out here, there was a Trevor with him.
With an F.
Yeah, so now they call me Trevor. And she's like, I'm going to call you Treffy.
And they start laughing.
And we all laugh very hard.
It's the ultimate setup. And then Alucard's in the back being like, I can't find love in this world.
Shout out to some really nice establishing shots of Dracula's castle in this episode.
Half of the shots of Dracula's castle are just like, so dope. You can obviously tell they went, yeah, we don't care about the story, but we do care about Dracula's castle.
I think they care about the story.
Well, no, the writers care about the story, but the animators are just like, we know where we're pumping the money.
So, Nick, there's this great sequence in this episode coming up, but I also know that you keep telling me there's one sequence in this episode that made you groan so much.
Yes.
And I fear that it's this one.
It's not this one.
Okay.
So I've been saying for, 2 days now, one sequence.
Yeah, I have no idea which one it is, because both the ones I guessed, you said it wasn't.
Exactly. But you'll see it.
You'll see. You'll all see.
You'll all see.
So this scene, Hector and Camilla are walking through the castle and like talking about their schemes. And Hector's like, I don't care for the humans. And Camilla's like, I don't care for Dracula very much.
I think Camilla's like, I don't care for humans. But you know what we need to do? Move on Brayla.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hector's like, why would you have me betray Dracula?
Dracula is capable of love. He fell in love with a human woman. That's why we're all doing this. And his convictions and blah, 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 blah. And
Camilla's like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
She was a pet.
If he loved her, he would have made her a vampire because we're great.
Come on. Like, you saw it in his eyes.
So they're walking and they cross this huge bridge and they go into this darkened hallway. And this Camilla starts doing the best thing. Like, they're just having a normal, mundane conversation. But she starts using her vampire powers to just, like, loom out of the shadows in front of him.
I fucking love this bit. Like, Hector's like
so
walking,
extra.
Like, Hector is walking down the stairs and Camilla's like, come on, Hector. You know for a fact that Dracula's not into this, and then just appears out of a shadow. You know he's not into this. It's like, why are you being a bitch right now? Back off.
And yeah, she's all like, so you've thought about how the fact that when killing all humans means you're gonna die? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. And she's all like, he's insane. Do his actions sound sane to you? And Hector's like, Dracula promised me that we would just reduce and control the human population.
Oh, sweet, stupid Hector.
Stupid, idiot, baby Hector.
Listen, we know what's gonna happen, but if you team up with me, we can move on Brayla.
Are you prepared to abandon Dracula to win the war? And he grabs her hand and like pulls her into his workshop and is like, hey,
Don't
careful
say
with
that.
that sort of talk.
Vampires have sharp ears.
And then she's like, Brayla, Hector. It's where it's at.
And Hector's like, for fuck's sake. Okay, maybe, I guess.
So she actually lays out her plan, and we realize what she's doing because she says, the castle lands in Brayla by the river. Dracula's loyal forces leave the castle. Camilla's forces enter the castle and take over. And then, for her logic, then they do what Dracula really wants, but doesn't have the focus to do at the moment.
Which is kill all the humans.
Yeah. Or keep feeding populations, but kill
Yes.
and enslave the humans. And Hector's all, but Dracula is powerful. That won't be enough. And then close up on the body of the dead Bishop of Brejit, and she's like, yes, Hector, you need to do special wisdom for me.
Special wisdom.
Meanwhile, it's the past. And we're seeing the equivalent of the scene we talked about last time where Dracula recruits Hector to his cause, but this time with Isaac.
So I think there's like a castle?
It's like a
Stone
little
hut
fort thing.
Yeah. Some kind of military grade fortress prison.
And Dracula enters, and then Hector is behind him because he heard him coming.
And he's like, I heard you come in.
You need my work. Invite me across your threshold, Isaac. That's a nice touch.
Vampire.
That's some vampire stuff.
Yeah.
And they talk about how they each first met each other and like how they
tell me the words.
I want to hear you say it. You're a vampire.
You're a vampire, Isaac. No, I'm not.
So Isaac he says he was being hunted by brigand magicians who wanted to chop him up and use him for spell components.
Now, I have no idea what he meant by this, but in my mind, I had two visual images going.
I think it's a racism thing.
Yeah, so I think one of them was like, they're actual magicians who want to concoct potions out of him, like magical potions.
Or he says they wanted the magicians who were hunting him wanted to sell him to other magicians.
The other thing I thought was like, here's my thumb.
Ooh.
Like that magician was like, we wanted to hunt him down for parts because I was very valuable to them. And I thought, wow, what does that even mean?
Tom Walker has a new comedy special out on Amazon Prime, which I highly recommend anyone with access to watch that. But I just want to share one bit of humor from that you reminded me of. He does a riff on the like the magician moving his thumb sort of thing.
Like holding your... Well, I don't want to give away the magician's secret, but
it looks like you're taking your thumb off.
Yeah, and you're like, whoop, and people are like, what?
But he's doing it with the joke premise that it's excruciatingly painful.
What is it with Tom Walker
and just being very funny?
Committing to
He's
these
a really
bits.
powerful clown.
I think one of the few bits I've seen of Tom Walker was, do you guys like babies? Do you guys like little cute babies? All right, here's my impression. Right, here's my impression of a baby. And then it's him trying to get into character for like 4 minutes. And he's only got like a 5-minute set. And he's like, okay, here we go. I'm a baby. Okay, here we go. And he's just like putting his hand on his face a lot. And he just gets more and more like close in on himself, like more close in.
I don't know if we can really do this bit justice in an audio format and also not being powerful clowns ourselves.
The problem is, after about 2 minutes, you're just kind of sitting there being like, what is going... Isn't he going to do like a joke? And then eventually, he just screams at the top of his lungs.
He's powerful anti-humor.
And it's just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird. And it's so enticing.
So Isaac's all like, war sounds like a small thing for you, Dracula. Don't you want to do some genocide instead?
And Dracula's all like,
sure, you want to help?
And Isaac's all like, yeah, right. I'm loyal with you to the end.
Do you remember your first words to me, Isaac? Indulge me so I know you're my friend. I have no fear of death. It always sounded peaceful to me.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, Godbrand and friends get on their big devil horses and go kill a village.
They literally are like, fuck him if the court doesn't want us to go murder some humans. We're going to go murder some humans. Fuck him. We're going to do it.
And this is where I think in my first watch, it became readily apparent that none of these other guys were ever going to speak. Because Godbrand is just walking through the stables, having a conversation to himself, and the others are all following silently.
Which is so frustrating because some of them look amazing.
Yeah.
And we see like basically a giant massacre montage.
Yeah, like Godbrand like literally rides his horse through the wall of a hut and then kills everyone in there. And the
with
others,
like terrified faces.
Yeah, like the mist woman is doing her cool shit.
There's like a sultan looking dude with like 2 scimitars just slicing through
dudes
everyone.
up.
So good.
Meanwhile, Dracula's drawing runes on his mirror. And I didn't really get what he was doing here, but he threw like a
blanket?
A black cloak or a blanket through the mirror into a wooded area. Did you pick up on what that was?
I don't know. Is it his old cloak, maybe?
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Cloakless, but...
Because he hasn't killed anyone recently that he would have taken that from.
No, I don't know. Maybe...
I thought it was maybe perhaps the cloak he was traveling in when he was traveling as a man, or perhaps something of Lisa's, like casting away his sympathetic humanity symbolically. But I didn't really pick up on the specifics there, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe the director's commentary will have more info on this.
And then
but not us.
There's this really weird sequence where he's walking through the halls and everyone's looking at him.
A sequence, you say?
Oh, you didn't like this bit?
Oh my god, Liam, I hated this
Tell me
bit.
your feelings.
Why is he just walking through this thing and just looking and then nothing happens and then he keeps walking and then he looks a bit more...
Well, he's walking over to Isaac and we're kind of seeing it in grueling detail.
But it's like, we didn't need to see all of this
I kind of
happen.
like it, to be honest.
But it's just like, you walk down some stairs, there's Hector's thing, it's like, okay, sure.
Well, like, 2 of the faceless goons bow before him, but then one of them is, like, staring daggers at his back. And then as he walks past Isaac's room, Hector's room, Hector stops hammering for a moment and then resumes. Like, even though he's diminished as he is, he still has this really powerful presence, but now people are starting to look askance at him.
But it's still just so long.
I feel like the tone of the war hall is turning against me. See, the problem with you, Nick, the problem with you and your anime watching ways is you demand instant gratification.
I'm sorry, hang on. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure gives us instant gratification. Yeah. Every week a new monster. Every week a new power. Every week a new character.
I don't know, but there's some stuff happening behind the scenes that's on a slow boil there. Like everything with Kira.
Yeah, but even with Kira, there's stuff happening on the side that's like, oh, a thing is happening.
And also I'd contend that the instant gratification of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is rarely, if ever, the gratification you expect you're going to receive.
I think that might be, that's the main thing. I came in here for a nice murder mystery. What did I get? got fucking Kira being weird.
They start talking about how, like, Hector has a child's mind, and, like, whoops,
So pure.
whoops, I lied to him and told him we weren't going to kill all the humans.
Yeah, look, he basically wants a controlled population, but...
He only really understands pets.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Child in a man's body makes him easier to lie to. You are Dracula. No one has a right to your true beliefs. Top 10 line of dialogue ever written.
Sometimes I wonder if, like, we dig into the show too much, because a lot of it is very well written dialogue, but at the same time, some of it is very sketchy.
Basically, Dracula reveals to us, the audience, that Hector is the only one that knows the true extent of his plan.
Because Isaac is the only one he can truly trust.
Sorry, Isaac. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So then we get into the Belmont Library.
Yeah.
Again.
Cypher's there and she looks sad and she's tired and lonely. Trevor is like, come be under my big stinky cloak with me. And she's like, the cloak does stink. And he says, it might not be the cloak. Alucard's weird, huh?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the whole scene. It's another one of those scenes that's like...
He's intelligent, sometimes even witty in his way, and he's certainly half human, a person in his own right, but he's a cold spot in the room.
Like one Dio Brando.
Ah.
Yeah. Who can be intelligent, but he's just a bit of a dick.
I'd argue Dio is never a cold spot in the room.
He's always a flame that has always been out to begin with, but at the same time burns hard.
And he makes you say, oh, the trouble I'd get into if I was as brave as Dio.
Oh, watch your boss.
Meanwhile, Godbrand does that thing he does where he comes and bothers people, but this time he bothers people too much.
You forgot the most important part of the last scene.
Oh, yeah?
Cypher wants in.
Speak on that.
Well, it's literally just like...
What do you mean?
Like, Trevor is just like, yeah, I guess this is the way it is. And Cypher's like leaning in more and more, being all like, oh, it's so warm here.
You realise she falls asleep.
Yeah, but she's leaning in while talking, Liam. And then she falls asleep and Trevor's all like, I'm going to marry this woman one day. We're going to have 10 children. They're all going to be vampire slayers.
Sure. I don't know what happens in season 3.
Also, quick question regarding the lighting in this room.
Yeah.
Why is it so dark?
It's underground.
Yeah, but we've been indoors this whole time. And it's quite bright most of the time.
Yeah, because remember Cypher activated all those magic lamps?
Yeah.
Maybe they put them out for nighttime, for sleeping.
I guess.
And Trevor's just sitting up with his one candle in front of on a big treasure chest.
I guess.
Look, here's that establishing shot with it.
I mean, yeah, but...
Oh, it's not on a treasure chest, it's just on the floor.
It's just on a candelabra.
Yeah. It's nighttime. Gotta sleep. Need darkness.
I guess. But why is it still affecting the underground? You know, it doesn't matter.
I don't understand the question. Are you asking why it's dark underground?
Yeah, why is it dark underground when they had lights on?
They turned them off.
But why'd they turn them off?
To go to sleep.
But literally both of them were like, I'm just going to chill here and just, you know, not sleep.
I think they were both planning on sleeping, but perhaps couldn't sleep.
But with each other, I wonder.
Hate you. So...
Godbrand does that thing.
Isaac's whipping himself, and he's like, I hate when... Godbrand's like, I hate when you do that, and Hector starts talking about... Ugh, why do I keep doing that? Isaac starts talking about sin.
And he's like, the body needs focus. If I whip myself, I can remain focused.
Yeah, Opus Dei.
And Godbrand's all like, this place fucking sucks.
Yeah, Dracula has no friggin' battle plan. We don't need strict battle plans. There is intent.
Yeah, but mate, I need fucking blood, right? How am I going to get blood?
Yeah, they should have told us Alucard was under Gresham. Like, that's not cool. Alucard sucks. Not a big deal.
And where's my blood?
Yeah.
I want blood.
Dracula should just... I'm dying.
Liam, quick, do CPR on yourself. I can't tell if that worked or if you can't breathe.
Dracula should just shut himself up in his study and we'll all do it for him and then he can...
Fuck off.
Yeah. You would betray Dracula?
And Godbrand's all like, you know, if it gets the job done, maybe I would.
It's like, it's not betrayal unless he decides to be difficult about it.
And then Isaac just gives him like death stares. Godbrand's all like, all right.
Godbrand goes to strut away as he does now that he's ruined someone's mood.
And then Isaac stands up and
takes
is all
that
like...
spiked thong.
Spiked thong?
Yeah, it's like a leather thong with spikes in it.
Is that what it's called? A thong?
Yeah, like a strap of leather, a thong.
No, it's not a thong.
Yeah, it is.
Surely not.
I mean, you're going to get a lot of different results for just Googling thong, Nick.
A thong when you want to avoid a panty... Oh no. Thong leather.
You still might get some strange results for that.
Ah, yes, a shoe. A leather shoe. A leather thong.
Nick, you know that one of the autocomplete completes there was thong leather working.
Yeah, but I feel like it's going to give me the same result. Oh, images. Images, here we go. Okay, that is not a thong, then. What is this? This is just a rope. Leather, bootlace, or thong.
Do we really need to critique my...
Oh, maybe it is a thong.
I really feel like this isn't important.
It is a thong. All right, I was wrong. It's a thong.
I was wrong. It's a thong.
At least I think it's a thong. I'm still out on it. Maybe it's just like
He
a
wraps
whip.
it around his neck.
Yep. And the spikes go into his neck. They start bleeding him
He's
out.
like garroting him.
And this, I didn't like this scene particularly either. You might be
in
shocked.
what regard?
So he starts like garroting him. Godbrand's all like, oh fuck, there's a human trying to
They're
garrot
struggling.
him. They have a bit of a kerfuffle.
Yep.
Godbrand is all like, fuck off. And Isaac's like, no, gonna strangle you out. And then
Thank you for revealing to me how the corruption of the world has made its way into Dracula's court.
he like rips the spiky bits through his neck.
Godbrand's on the ground.
He's just bleeding out. Isaac is covered in blood.
Yeah. Sits down, straddles him.
And he's all like, thanks, buddy.
Gonna kill you now. Pulls out his special devil-forged knife, stabs him with it, and
Right in the heart.
Godbrand turns to dust, much like a certain Tarkus once burnt to dust before our very eyes when hit by a sunlight yellow overdrive. Nick, what don't you like about this scene?
I understand he's in a weakened state for not having blood or beer.
No, he just fed a lot. He went on that raid.
Okay, well, this makes it even worse then. After feeding a lot and literally plummeting through a wall and murdering a whole bunch of peasants and, like, town guard, Isaac can just kill him?
Yeah, he's Isaac.
But, like, the struggle did not feel to me like...
I mean, he got him by surprise, you know?
Yeah, but he's a fucking vampire. He could just elbow him and literally take off
Trevor kills vampires all the time.
Yeah, but Trevor is a whip.
I mean,
He
what
doesn't get close.
we're seeing about vampires here is that they're working on, like, the set of vampire rules where they can be hurt, but unless they're killed, they'll just heal up.
I guess. But also they have superpowers.
Yeah.
So Godbrand could literally break down a wall.
Yeah, but he's got nails in his throat.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to breathe, right?
Dunno.
He's a vampire.
Unclear.
Oh, I guess so.
We don't know what magics might be in in Isaac's whip.
That's true.
He is the Devil Forge Master after all.
He is the Devil Forge Master. We don't know what special strength powers Isaac has. Maybe he's the most powerful among us all.
He does seem to kill pretty effortlessly. Like, remember when he stuck his fingers in that guy's eye?
Yeah, true. But it feels like he couldn't kill a vampire still.
But he did.
But he did, which is just weird.
The whip is consecrated for killing vampires and demons.
Ah.
So let's talk a bit about Godbrand. Val.
Now that he's dead.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rip in peace, God.
There are a few items of varying believability on the Castlevania fandom trivia page for Godbrand.
Okay.
Physical appearance based on Peter Stormare. Coincidentally, Stormare voiced a different version of Dracula as seen in DC's The Batman vs. Dracula.
What?
The Batman vs. Dracula.
What? That's real?
Yep.
I thought that was a joke poster.
You were wrong.
Oh my god. Okay.
The name Godbrand is a variation on the Norwegian name, which is sometimes spelled Gudbrand, Gudbrand.
Oh,
the name literally means God Blaze.
Oh, so he's all about burning out rather than fading away.
Okay.
Better to die in a bonfire.
He's all about linking the first flame.
Yeah, it's better to die in a bonfire, setting yourself ablaze, rather than being like, I'm a candle.
The most famous wearer of this name was Chief Gudbrandr, who resisted Christianity in Norway in the 11th century. The Norwegian valley Gudbrandsdalen is named after him.
Okay.
Now, this one I find quite spurious.
Okay.
The name could also...
The name could also mean many other things.
Exact text. The name could probably also be a reference to Dio Brando, a character from the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga. God translates to Italian as Dio. Brand could be italicized as the surname Brando. This would not be the first time Castlevania makes a reference to this series, which is true. Like, there have been, like, time-stop werewolves and things before.
Okay, alright, but is Godbrand in Castlevania before this show?
No.
I mean... JoJo's wasn't really that big when Castlevania first came out, right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, never mind.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, baby. The only anime worth watching.
Oh, never mind then.
An early design of Godbrand showed him fatter, with grey hair and beard and wearing a fur shoulder pad. This design would later be reused for one of his men in Broken Mast. That's probably the guy. I can actually pull up a picture of him now if you'd like.
Yeah, who was just chilling out
On the boat.
On the boat.
Yeah.
On the grass.
I was going to say that. You've infected me with your memes.
You see, Liam, I went down the hill, snowy as it was, and I killed them all on the grass. Yeah, see, that's pretty dope. But...
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that's not as good.
No.
Yeah, no.
And that's the end of the first episode. He kills him and he's like, I killed you, Godbrand. You suck. I'm Isaac.
Suck my leather thong.
Don't like that.
Well, he had to. It was in his throat.
Oh, how ironic.
He could suck many a human being at the neck.
It's dawn. Isaac. Oh, hang on. New episode synopsis.
Oh, fuck. Okay, here we go.
What?
It's just every time we do these, they just get weirder and weirder and dumber.
Season 2, episode 5, Last Spell.
Oh.
The Belmont Hold is discovered. Dracula's war council goes to war with itself.
Really?
Oh, spooky.
You don't say. Oh my god.
It's dawn. Isaac he's in a meditative pose, but what he's doing is disposing of Godbrand's ashes.
Is this the first shot of the episode?
Yeah.
Wasn't there another one?
No.
That's strange.
That is strange.
That is very strange.
The way they would open an episode with an establishing shot of the setting and then move to a character in that setting doing something.
I don't know how I feel about this tried and true method of storytelling.
Much like how Jotaro Kujo once scattered Dio's ashes to the winds of Egypt. Isaac is scattering Godbrand's ashes to the winds of Wallachia.
I see. It all comes back to Jojo. So he's chilling on top of somewhere in the fucking castle.
Yeah.
And then we cut away.
Carmilla's like, I'm scheming. My scheme is almost ready. Get ready to do schemes.
Fucking
and
Carmilla.
This is the episode where it becomes so awkward that none of the other vampires ever talk because one of them knocks on Carmilla's door and just shakes his head silently. And Carmilla goes, then where is Godbrand?
Maybe they just hate talking. They hate
Maybe
using...
they're all telepaths.
Oh, maybe. But literally, Carmilla's just like, where the fuck is Godbrand?
Cut back to that scattering of ashes, and then Isaac throws away his special cape and pendant.
Carmilla's all like, I swear, there's only a limited number of things he can drink, fuck, or have sex with.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the protagonists are reading books.
Wow. Books.
They talk a bit about how weird how much Cypher likes reading, given that
she's a speaker.
Yeah,
who...
and we know from mere episodes ago that
speakers despise reading traditionally.
And one of them once punched Trevor Belmont's father in the face for trying to transcribe their oral histories to written form. But now Cypher is like, no, we love books. That's how we learn our stories. And also, gosh, these books sure are more efficient than oral traditions.
There is millions of speakers worth of knowledge here.
They're really walking that season one line of dialogue back.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Cypher is...
young.
Yeah, young, ambitious.
And idealistic.
And she also was like, no, I like books. I'm a fan of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine.
They banter about Trevor for a while, what an immature idiot. Meanwhile, he's on the ground looking at swords. Every time they cut away to Trevor doing something in this episode, he's found another stash of weapons, and it's just ooh. Later, he's got this box of daggers. Almost
every single shot with him in this show boils down to, ooh, a new weapon.
Yeah.
He found the Morning Star.
Add this to my inventory.
Found the sword.
It's like how in Castlevania
daggers.
Symphony of the Night and Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Radiance?
I think you mean...
no, Aria of Radiance, Dawn of Sorrow, because it has to be Dawn of Sorrow because that was the DS one. And they had game developers had a weird thing for making DS
names
games.
That were DS.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember because Advance Wars got ruined for that very name.
Oh, what was that one called?
Dual Strike.
That's right. And that was the really edgy one?
It was.
Yeah.
That was the end of Advance Wars as we knew it.
It wasn't terrible, but it was
not
very
good,
different
though.
from what Advance Wars was.
Well, the thing was, they were like, let's bring Andy, Max, and what's her face?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the one that came after that. No, and
there's one after that?
Yeah, it was a whole reboot, new story, new characters, new art style, very dark, very edgy.
Yeah, well, wasn't that the DS one?
No, because your Dual Strike still had Andy, Max, blah, blah.
No.
didn't it?
That had them for the first, like, bit of that game.
I'm talking about entirely new setting, no new characters, no original characters.
What the fuck? There's an Advance Wars game I don't know about?
Seems that way.
Oh my god. Let's find it.
Nick and I are both just Googling Advance Wars right now.
And I love that one of the things is Battalion Wars is still considered an Advance Wars game. And I'm like, of course it is.
All right.
Oh, no, I know the one you're talking about.
Days of Ruin.
Days of Ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe there's a reason you couldn't remember it.
Yeah, I remember Dual Strike.
Dual Strike was the first one I played. I liked it well enough.
Yeah, and it was like way, way darker, I think.
But
then-
it was still that same vibrant color scheme and everything. And,
Yeah.
and you could do cool, like, dual combo special moves. And certain characters had, like, unique ones with unique lines of dialogue when you combined them.
And
which
then
was
Days of Ruin had a great soundtrack and terrible everything else.
It wasn't without its charms, but it was very different from what a lot of people expected, I think.
Yeah, I think when they were like, oh, Andy's going to come back. And then Andy was just
not
murdered.
That. Andy doesn't exist in this setting.
No, he does, but they murdered him.
It's
yeah,
not.
surely yes.
It's an entirely new setting where 90% of humanity has been killed off by meteor strikes.
I swear Andy got killed.
Well, you're wrong.
Fuck. All right, never mind.
Also, I think there was a weird plot about, like, people getting turned into plants or something.
Getting turned into plants.
Anyway,
one day we'll talk about Advance Wars. The greatest,
Will we?
the greatest tactics games ever made.
There should be some more Advance Wars rep in Smash.
Oh, there should be.
But not until they put Sam Porter Bridges in.
Sam Porter Bridges reporting for duty.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he says that.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Anyway, Castlevania.
Yeah, they start talking about magic and like, it's Adamic, the original language of humanity. More on that later.
They literally don't say anything else about Adamic yet.
Yeah. This language has strains of high remembrance and like some Chaldaic structure. Oh, let's read and talk about languages. We're linguists. My father was a polymath. My mother was a doctor. I grew up at super fast speeds. I'm Alucard. Oh, I get it. You're a child.
Wait, hang on. When you say super fast speed, you mean like you had to grow up like mentally and emotionally because of damaged?
I grew up super fast for some reason.
Because I'm a vampire.
That makes sense.
Well, I guess it does. It's like physically I grew up very quickly.
Why does that make sense? You know how vampires don't age? Well, I grew up super fast.
Yeah, he grew up to the age that he had to grow up because he's a dampier.
I suppose that's better than like an interview with a vampire where that little girl gets vampirized at little girl age and stays a little girl forever.
No, terrible. You gotta get vampirized at age 27? Is that the prime?
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds like
everything's downhill from there.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta get it in what we are right now, 28-ish.
No, we've missed the mark.
Okay, we've missed the boat.
Yeah.
That's it. You gotta get vampirized at 17, 18. Right when you're,
No,
forming
that's still
muscles.
too early. Because the human brain isn't fully developed until age 25.
Isn't it?
That's all I've read.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's always developing.
No, ours has started to die.
No. It's always developing because of like plasticity, right? Where it's like you can learn stuff.
Yeah, but sure. We've reached an age where we are losing efficiency by the day.
Yeah.
You can't run as fast as you could. You can't think as fast as you could.
You can't fuck as many
I don't
capitalist
need
bourgeois
that.
pigs.
Okay, we're back. I'm back on board.
You have to start being like, I'm going to be an anarchist from afar.
It's daytime, and Hector and Isaac are going for a walk to have a secret conversation where the vampires can't hear.
Daytime? But that means the vampires can't listen to them.
The vampires have sharp ears. We must be further away. I used to think that the vampires were like wolves or bats, pack creatures with unified instincts.
I can believe that.
But lately I think of them like cats.
Oh dear.
Because they squabble amongst themselves and jostle for power.
You thieving-
And then there's a metaphorical fox eating a fish nearby.
Yeah. And Isaac is all like, you see them as animals.
The cats need herding, Isaac. Good way to get your eyes clawed out, Hector.
Why, Hector?
This dialogue is so stupid. It was during this scene that I became very aware of the fact that Hector is wearing two different coloured gloves.
Is he?
Yeah, look in this shot here. He's got one white glove and one black glove.
Oh, sick.
Cool.
Yeah, well, he's got one glove for normal stuff and one glove for hammering.
For Devil Forge Mastery.
Yeah, exactly. He needs his magic glove on.
You see, the two gloves symbolise the sort of duality of Hector's nature, where he's at once a childlike innocence, but at the other, a general of a genocidal army of the undead.
Aren't we all inside?
Whereas Isaac,
Why do you keep getting them mixed up?
who wears only black, is
far gone.
He is unified in his intent and has clarity of vision.
He doesn't see the world for what it is, but rather for its lost cause.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's like, okay, we're the two Devil Forge masters. We're meant to be in charge. We need to have cabinet solidarity.
We need to have a plan.
We
Isaac.
should go to Brayla.
Are you agreeing with Carmilla now?
By the way, we're not friends. Well, I never saw the point in being friends because we're going to kill all humans.
And Hector's all like, yeah, I guess that is true, but, we can still be friends. By the way, we should go to Brayla.
Yeah. And Isaac is all, on one hand, it would give Carmilla some more power, so I don't like that. But on the other hand...
Unify the court.
Yeah.
Make everything a bit more, structured, organized. Maybe even Godbrand would like it.
Godbrand, the one who's still alive.
Isaac, why have you got that look in your eye?
I like how Hector, in response to this, like, well, yeah, don't talk me out of it. Wouldn't want to make Godbrand happy.
And then they chuckled together, and me and Liam both went...
they like do really like, so we were talking the other episode about the Dark Souls chuckle. And they both just start doing that for a prolonged period of time.
Where it's not a real laugh.
It's like two people who don't really know how to evil laugh trying to.
It's like Beavis and Butthead, but maniacal.
It's like trying to evil laugh when you have COVID.
Wow. Liam. Dark humor.
Meanwhile, Carmilla is like, oh, good job, Hector. You've done exactly what I wanted.
Now, we should go to Brayla.
We'll let Isaac settle, then the three of us will go to Dracula and present a united front, and he'll have to listen to us. Meanwhile, Isaac's in Dracula's room being like, yeah, they want to trick you into going to Brayla.
And Dracula's like, I don't give a fuck.
Whatever, go to Brayla.
If we go to Brayla, whatever.
So this particular line of dialogue is like, it'll unify the court, and you'll only have to deal with one annoying voice instead of a dozen, which is ridiculous, because Carmilla's the only one left who talks.
There are no other voices.
She's squabbling with the silent voices of the other vampire generals.
She's just like, oh, these fucking vampires are all so annoying. No one's saying anything, Carmilla. Oh, shut up. I'm not disagreeing with you. We should go to Brayla. Fuck you. We should go to Brayla.
I'm Dracula. I remember when I used to take pleasure in the destruction of the humans. Like when the merchants of Ronstadt, was that it? Disrespected me.
Sure.
And then Dracula does this moony monologue about how he took joy in the killing of the humans and flashback to him like single-handedly murdering the merchants of this town.
He does some sick planning where it's like, I knew that I'd have to set fire to some of the buildings
so the merchants would send their women and children out to take shelter, but they'd go for their valuables themselves. Those greedy merchants.
Oh, those fucking merchants.
Friggin' merchants.
And then he just kills them all.
Yep. Well, he kills 40 of them. The 40 who disrespected him.
True.
But he did not see meaning in harming the others. I suppose he was much like Isaac at the time. Hector.
Yeah.
I wonder how they disrespected him.
Your impaling methods are barbaric and shit.
Failing to pay tribute properly, perhaps? Or...
Yeah, probably. They disrespected me. They didn't pay up on the fees.
Yeah. Awful nice town of merchants you got here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. But I am a friend to you. For a modest sum, I can make it so that no vampires will attack the town.
What? But you're a vampire. This is extortion. You're Dracula, aren't you?
You should not have disrespected me so. I'm going to spend a delicious few days gathering information, then I shall return.
Oh, he wouldn't possibly come back. He's just a family man. And then it turns out he's not a family man at all.
Everyone's crying and he's impaled those guys. I feel like I had some quip at this point. Oh yeah, we were watching it, I turned to you and I was like, oh yeah, that's a classic Banksy right there, or the impaled merchants.
Quip established. I do love.
Dracula is brilliant. He's a scientist. He's a wizard. He's Banksy.
I do love that they finally brought it back to Vlad Tepes. Vlad the Impaler. Because he impaled all those dudes.
The first shot of the TV series as well.
Is that how many people disrespected him?
What?
In the first shot, you know how there's all those people
that wasn't necessarily this exact scene.
No, but I mean, like, imagine if he was like, they disrespected me. The people that disrespect me, they're the ones that get impaled.
Oh, it's a specific punishment.
Exactly. And then it's just so many people disrespected him.
So then they all come in and they're like, oh, Isaac, you're here.
Yes, I was just admiring the mirror.
Yes.
That's exactly
We
what I
would
was
like
doing.
to go to Brayla, please.
For fuck's sake. All right,
Yeah.
fine.
Can we go to Brayla? No. Can we go to Brayla? No. Can we go to Brayla? No. Can we go to Brayla? Oh, if I go to Brayla, will you stop asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's all we've ever wanted since this began. Fine, we'll go to Brayla. Great. Can we have an army? Oh, for fuck's sake.
It doesn't matter. They just have to die.
All the humans have to die. Are we on the same page here, everyone? We're going to Brayla, all the humans have to die.
And Isaac's like, I will stay with you, Dracula, and make sure you are comfortable. And Dracula's all, I don't give a fuck.
I'm tired, Isaac. I'm just tired. They all have to die.
And then Carmilla goes mask off in the hallway with Hector, being like, oh yes, I was trying to make you think I respected you, but now you're implicated in my scheme, so who gives a shit, you piece of trash?
You're just a human. So easily.
Stupid boy.
You're so easily manipulated, aren't you?
Oh,
God, she's a bitch.
stop saying that.
I hate her. I hate her so much. She's just like, oh yes, by the way, I don't think you realize.
I mean, none of these people are good people.
Well, hang on a minute here. I mean, Dracula's pretty half-half, you know? Hector's half-half. He just wants to cull most of the population and then use the breeding pens for the vampires so that they're appeased, you know?
Hector, the original incel.
You know, that's pretty morally okay, I guess. You know, keep the ones above us happy while the ones below us are put into pens and worked for slave labor. You know, that's.
I know you're trying to get a rise out of me,
Come
but
on,
it's
Liam,
working.
bite. Yeah, no, that's morally fine, you know. Then we got Carmilla.
There are perhaps 4 other women in this castle, and they all stand by the walls and glare from the edges, too paralyzed by sheer rage to say or do anything.
Fuck him. Fuck them all.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm Carmilla.
I do what I want.
I'm from an earlier book than Dracula.
I am the OG vampire. I had lesbianic tones, and that's, like, noted on Wikipedia. You don't get more vampire than that. I mean, that's irrelevant to being a vampire. How about I bite off your face?
Anyway, back in the castle, or in the Belmont hold, Cypher has had a breakthrough, because she found, like, most of a spell that an old Belmont tried to make to remove the castle's primary advantage as means of locomotion. Which makes sense. Like, you can't marshal an army against Dracula's castle, it just teleports away.
No, if it just teleports away, it teleports away. Congratulations, you played yourself.
And also, you probably die in the shockwave that can strip deer flesh from bones.
That's true. That is true.
So if they can finish a spell that will stop that,
Seems like a good
then
plan.
they can at least get in.
Yeah, what a good idea.
It's all from Adamic structures.
Tell me more about Adamic structure.
Why, it's the original human language. The one spoken by Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, because Christianity is canon.
And then when humanity separated because of the Tower of Babel...
Yeah, and God fractured them into languages to prevent human cooperation. But the speakers understand Adamic, and we are the enemies of God. This is that weird angry atheist theme from the first season coming back, isn't it?
So, Alucard, like, chuckles a bit. Is like, is that how you interpret that fable?
Oh yeah, God hates me. See, look, we're being invaded.
And then everything starts shaking. There's loud banging noises from above.
That's probably not God. End of episode.
I get it. It's some more literal, tangible threat. Maybe Dracula.
Or probably just a bunch of, like, hyenas and goblins.
Oh yeah, that scouting crew that went out.
The one they've explicitly talked about several times.
Yeah.
It'd be good if it was Dracula, though. Like, hey, everyone in my castle sucks. Can I team up with you guys instead? The good characters will hang out for a while.
Alucard's just there. Father, why do you hate me?
Father, I wanted to reconnect with you so, but this genocidal crusade of yours, and he's all, oh, I got bored of that.
Father, do you hate me?
Let's go to Isle Delfino, son, and mess with Mario for a while.
Oh, look at the lovely colours everywhere. I'm angsty.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's the end of the episodes.
pretty good eps.
Pretty good eps.
What's your highlights, Liam?
I suppose my highlight would have to be the scene where Order 66 came down
Fuck.
and Rex tried to resist but was unable to.
Shit.
No, my highlights from these episodes, do we want to do one each or just one overarch?
Let's do one each.
Okay, first episode, definitely Carmilla, just being real extra in the hallway conversation with
Shit, that was going to be mine.
with Hector.
Yep.
And then from this episode,
Well, mine from last
Oh, yes.
episode, since you've taken Carmilla just being an absolute asshole to Hector this
Yeah.
whole time, probably has to be Godbrand being like, God damn, I'm good. And just remembering when he killed, what, 5 dudes?
yeah.
And then just going, hey,
Ah, I sure am Godbrand, he says to himself.
and just, fuck your eyes, man. Which is like, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And from the second episode, my highlight is probably Dracula's moody murder monologue.
The one that's like, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired.
And remember when the merchants disrespected me? I used to take such joy.
I like that entire scene, like the entire murder montage, just because you can see it's like, that's a man who
That
reveled,
was Dracula in his prime.
you know? And then it's like a stark contrast to the sad, weak, tired dude we see now.
Yeah.
Lowlights?
Lowlights. So I don't necessarily have a problem with Godbrand being murdered. I think it's fine. It's a shame to lose that fun character so early. But I think it's my lowlight from that episode just simply because he was one of the only 2 vampires who talked. I feel like if the rest had their own personalities, that absence wouldn't be felt so keenly.
Yeah, no, that is one of the, that's a very big thing, is
Yeah.
that none of the vampires talk. It's just like, okay, I guess none of them talk.
So so when they're trying to do this whole plot about discord in the war council, when you cut out one of the only 2 who talks, you kind of really cut the legs off that plot.
I guess it's like, thank you for revealing betrayal. From who? Well, the only other person that talks. The only other character that we're ever going to elaborate on.
Yeah.
Oh, what would be my lowlight from that episode? You know what? My lowlight would probably just be fucking,
What about that scene you hated?
wait, which one?
The one where Dracula walks around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my lowlight, yep. Where it's just, he just walks for a bit.
I like it.
I mean,
Clearly we get different things out of this show.
yeah, it's just kind of like, yeah.
Second episode lowlights. Hard to say.
I want to say just that one library bit where they start talking about languages that will never come up again. Ever.
My lowlight's also that one library bit, but actually the bit where they start talking about spells about penises.
You're not down with the penis jokes?
What are we doing here?
We're doing what we did in the first episode, or the second episode of season 1.
Oh yeah,
We
kicking
got
people
kicked
in the
the
crotch.
balls, yeah.
This isn't a bar fight.
Have some decorum.
All right, that's Castlevania, baby.
Hell yeah. If you enjoyed this episode, you can support us on patreon.com/Jojo as well.
Yeah, chuck us a quick upvote on the podcast service of your choice too. Helps us be more visible.
Or follow us on Twitter
Yeah, I post good content
at Jojo's Podcast.
at gmail.com.
Yeah, also there. If you have any lists or any news or any feedback or any cool shit, send it to jojospodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, right.
Or on Twitter. I don't really care. Either way, as long as
Don't
it's
really use Instagram much anymore.
No, it kind of died off.
You need to have above a certain amount of followers to put audio clips on it, and we just don't have that, so it's not really podcast ideal, you know?
Yeah, but one day we'll have millions of followers and we'll keep them in pens such that we feed off them whenever
No, Nick
we
will
want.
kill them all.
Oh, you're on that side of the fence. But I'm telling you, you have to invade Brayla.
Scenic Brayla. We all remember it from our childhoods, and we all want to go back. But
Good
we never will, if I have anything to say about it.
Oh, man. Anyway,
Anything else you want to share?
no, I'm just happy that we're getting through this faster because not a whole lot is
Yeah,
gonna
so
happen.
I did the math on how many weeks we have on this
Yeah.
at the double rate. So there's 8 episodes of season 2, of which we've now watched 5.
Yep.
So that puts us over halfway there. And then I think there's either 8 again or 10 of the season 3.
Yeah.
But we're on odd numbers because we did the first episode of season 2 and then up the schedule. But that probably gives us a good final episode to watch the last one and then do a debrief.
Yeah. Do you mean of season 2 and then go into season 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So we've probably got somewhere in the field of 5 to 6 weeks. Oh, no, 10 weeks. Kind of lost track of my math there because I started talking about other things.
Somewhere within like 10 to 6 weeks.
It's going to be a couple of months, but
Yep.
it's not going to be the rest of the off-season as it may have been.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Cool beans.
Excelente.
JoJo's World, baby, the end.
See ya.
To be continued.
To be continued.
enough talk. How about you?